All right, park hopping has returned to Disney World, but how many parks can you really visit in one day? And what else do you need to know before you try to go from Epcot to Magic Kingdom? We've got all the details right now. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. After months of being able to visit only one park per day on your Disney vacation, park hopping, which is going between parks, is back. Now that means you can once again start your day in one park and then head to a different park later in the day. But what are the rules? And what do you need to know to park hop successfully? It's a little more complicated than what we're used to, and we've got the answers to all of your questions. So let's get started. First up, the new rules. Things are a little different than how we've parked hop in the past. Before, you could literally just show up at whatever park you wanted, whenever you wanted. Not so much right now, though. Here's what you need to know. 1, guests are still required to make a Disney Park Pass reservation for the first park they plan to visit during the day. You do not need to make a park pass reservation for the park you plan to visit next or the park you plan to hop to, and you do need to enter the park for which you reserved a park pass before you hop elsewhere. This is very important. So, make a park pass, go to that park, and then you can park hop anywhere else. Now, the ability to park hop, at least for the time being, will begin at 2 p.m. daily. Disney's already shared that this may change moving forward, so keep an eye on Disney World's Park Hours page or the My Disney Experience app, or join our newsletter to identify those park hopper hours for each day. Number 3, park hopping to each park will still be limited by the park's capacity limitations. This is in keeping with the current safety measures, and a park may reach capacity, meaning you can no longer hop there. So if you try to hop over to Epcot from Magic Kingdom and Epcot's at capacity, they can't let anyone else in. So park hopping is subject to the parks being full. Okay, here's how it works. You'll need to have a ticket that allows park hopping. You can add the park hopper option to your ticket for $65 to $85 total, depending on the length of your ticket. Or if you have an annual pass, park hopping is already included. Now, next, you're going to need to make a park pass reservation and visit that park first. This is absolutely necessary. You must make a park pass reservation and then physically go into that park in order to park hop to a different one later in the day. We were asked when we arrived at the Epcot parking lot if we had already visited our first park with a park pass reservation, and we saw people being turned away from a park because they had not visited that first park already. If you had a park pass reservation for Magic Kingdom, but 2 p.m. rolls around and your group wants to head straight to Epcot, you will not be allowed in if you haven't first visited the Magic Kingdom using your initial park pass. If you're running late and don't want to visit that first park, you'll have to cancel that Disney Park Pass reservation and book one for the park you're heading to instead. This can be risky because availability for park passes changes, so plan ahead to make sure your party makes it to that first park. Again, you won't need to make a second park pass reservation in order to hop to a different park, but you must have that first park pass and use it before you go somewhere else. Okay, I feel like I've said that 10,000 times. Everybody get it? Raise your hands. Okay, we got it. You have to go use your first park pass before you can hop anywhere else. All right, next step, travel to your second park. Park-to-park transportation is running with the big exception of the Epcot monorail, which is still closed for the time being. Buses will run between parks starting just before 2 p.m. or when park hopping begins for the day, whenever that is, whenever Disney decides to start it. On the first day of park hopping, our bus showed up at 1:42 p.m. When guests make their way to the buses, cast members will scan their park tickets to make sure that they have a ticket that allows park hopping before they can board. So do note that buses have capacity limits right now, so you may wait longer than usual to board a bus. If you're traveling between Epcot and Hollywood Studios, you can also take the Skyliner. If you're looking to conquer as many parks as possible in one day, the Skyliner or your car might be your best bet to travel between Hollywood Studios and Epcot quickly. You can also use Uber or Lyft. They can drop you off right at the front of Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and Epcot, but of course they have to drop you at the Transportation and Ticket Center for Magic Kingdom. Now, you should be able to take a boat between Epcot and Hollywood Studios, as they are running and making stops at the boardwalk area resorts in addition to the parks, but it is not currently listed as a park-to-park transportation option at this time. Going between the other parks will mean getting on a Disney bus or traveling via car, whether it's your own or, like we said, a ride share. Now, how to tell if a park is full? Obviously, you don't want to waste your time and try to hop someplace that's already at capacity. Well, the modified park hopping system is all based on availability. Guests can only enter another park if it isn't already at capacity or full up. So you'll want to keep an eye on that availability. At this time, you can call the capacity phone number at 407-560-5000 to find out which parks are open for park hopping. You'll get a pre-recorded message that will let you know which parks are available for park hopper access and which are currently closed due to capacity. They call that paused. Disney's used this phone line in the past during busy holiday seasons and other times that parks may reach capacity. Currently, this information is not available in the app or on the Disney World website. So if you're trying to figure out if a park's at capacity, it's not going to tell you on My Disney Experience at the moment. So call that number or check with a cast member at park-to-park transportation locations. So cast members who are at the bus stop should know if parks are at capacity. They'll be able to tell you, hey, don't go to Epcot, it's at capacity right now. Now, here's the big news that we didn't know about, and we basically constructed an awesome scheme to figure out on the first day of park hopping. You can visit more than 2 parks in a day. Now, the way that Disney sort of talked about park hopping, it sounded like you could only visit one other park in addition to your Park Pass park, but we figured out that you can visit as many parks as you want to during the day as long as they're not at capacity. So on the very first day of return park hopping, our team was able to visit all 4 Disney theme parks in one day. And actually, we visited all 4 Disney theme parks in 1 hour, because what we did is we actually had one of our team members drive one of our reporters from park to park. And like I said, you can drop people off at the front of the park. So our team member just dropped off our reporter and drove around in a circle and came back and picked her up. So we were able to confirm that you could get into all 4 parks in one day. Now, this is likely not the pace your vacation's going to be going at, but if you really want to go for that 4-park challenge, it is once again possible, but not guaranteed. Again, it is all dependent on park capacity. So while it is in theory possible to visit every park in one day, it's going to vary depending on how crowded the parks are during your visit. Now, let's talk about some more frequently asked questions, some other questions we got from our readers and our followers and our viewers. So let's answer some of those. Can I hop to Hollywood Studios to ride Rise of the Resistance? Answer, no. You must have a Park Pass reservation for Hollywood Studios to have access to boarding group drops for Rise of the Resistance at 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. At this time, access to ride Rise of the Resistance is limited only to guests with a Park Pass for Hollywood Studios that day. You cannot hop to Hollywood Studios from another park and get a boarding group for that attraction. Can you park hop to Hollywood Studios in general? Yes, you can park hop to Hollywood Studios after 2 p.m., but you will not be eligible to ride Rise of the Resistance at that time. So if you want to ride Rise, that has to be your first park of the day, and you got to have a Park Pass for it. All right, next question. Can I go back to my first park after hopping? Yes, after you leave your first park of the day, you are welcome to return whether you've entered another park or not. Your Disney Park Pass reservation also remains valid. We have not encountered the situation yet, but Disney has explained that Park Passes are included in the capacity count. I'm not sure of that. We're hearing from some guest relations cast members that you're not guaranteed to get back into your Park Pass park. We're going to be testing that out for sure. So stay up to date on all the latest info at DisneyFoodblog.com. We will be writing posts about all of this stuff as we test it out. Next question, is a park hopper add-on worth it? Well, it's all going to depend on how you like to visit Disney World. There are a lot of new stipulations in place right now, and if parks reach capacity, you might not be able to take advantage of park hopping at all. So even if you can hop, you can't do it until 2 p.m., and with shorter park hours, it might not make sense to take an hour out of your day to travel between parks. On the other hand, if you've done everything you want to do in one park by 2 p.m., then you can head somewhere else and fit more into the day of vacation, even with the added transportation time. So are you excited to have park hopping back? It was certainly a rush for our team to be able to visit all 4 Disney parks in one day for the first time since March of 2020. If you're working on your park plans for your upcoming trip, be sure to check out our video park guides. We're doing all 4 parks. We're telling you everything you need to do and know about when you go to each individual park this year. And we're working on a whole bunch of videos to help you plan your 2021 trip, so be sure to subscribe to the channel. Follow along with us over on DisneyFoodblog.com and on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and join that newsletter. That's where everything goes. It'll help you to stay up to date on all the latest, and it drops right in your inbox, so you don't have to worry even about coming over here. So to get all of our park coverage updates, head to that newsletter link in the description, and you can join our newsletter, which is totally free, and you don't miss a bit of info. And you get a weird newsletter from me every Friday talking about random stuff like painting Christmas cards. I don't know. So hopefully that video helps you figure out park hopping a little bit. Again, I think there's going to be a lot that's going to change about it. We're going to have a lot more questions come up, so we're going to keep answering those on the blog. But this is a good baseline explanation that's going to help you on your first park hopping adventures since the parks have reopened. Thanks for listening, you guys, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.